We were saving PPE, we were making PPE, and basically risking our lives. So I feel like it should have never happened, number one, but number two, it should never happen again. We should all be protected.
Amazon didn't let any of their employees know that there was even an outbreak in their facility. So that was definitely scary.
Somos esenciales y no desechables. Somos trabajadores esenciales, pero no tenemos protecciones. Queremos cambios.
There was just not a lot of protections for the workers, period. We were treated like cattle. You're tracked every place in the building.
You know, we were all we had, and that's not how it has to be. It doesn't have to be like that. New York State can stand up and make this safer for everyone, to allow workers a say, because we're the ones who know.
Standing together, assuring that our politicians, our lawmakers, and every elected official give us what we need. We need proper protective equipment. We need to have recognition for our essential and frontline workers at all costs. And this will take the wisdom and forthright leadership that I see here right now.
Getting this bill passed is about safety in the workplace first and foremost, because that's the point of action. But the ramifications of doing nothing, I want to be clear, the ramifications of doing nothing puts 19 million New Yorkers at risk.
This law will save workers' lives as we reopen our state, and it will ensure we are prepared for the next pandemic.
There is no other law in the country that is permanent, airborne infectious disease. This is what we created today. This is what we are celebrating today. We are setting the standards for all these employers to make sure that our workers are protected.
Make no mistake, what we did with the passage of this law is save lives. There were a number of people that we know lost their lives because protections at their workplaces were not in place over the last year. And now that is going to be required going forward. I'm extremely proud of the work we're able to do to get this done.
Labor laws change when there's a monumental event. And COVID has been a monumental event that has propelled our laws to change and to really modernize for the world that we're living in today. And unfortunately, this is the world that we're living in today, and we have to have these protections in place for our workers.
Let us remember that this is the beginning. We have to fight, and this is something that will give us an energy to keep fighting.
Justice! Now! Justice!
For the most money made in the 2020 coronavirus pandemic. $90 billion richer. Is that a shame? And we want to deliver this present to Jeff Bezos for exploiting.
We're very concerned about the lack of protections that he has not given to workers. Very recently, we have heard that almost 19 to 20,000 workers have contracted COVID. Workers have been organizing across the country and across the globe, asking for protections and safety in the workplace.
The abuse of big corporate monopolies of both workers and small businesses is truly out of control. This bill is a major moment of small businesses, workers, and the state of New York taking back power and giving tools to stop this abusive practice, these abusive practices, and to stop the gross inequality and suffering that is flowing from this.
And especially after COVID, where our city and our communities have suffered, we need to have a just transition and an investment in our communities. And we need to prioritize getting people back to work and doing it in a real way.
At every level of government, we must protect our environmental justice communities that are disproportionately burdened by the harms of pollution. That means investing in clean energy solutions that will improve our neighbors' health and advance economic development.
Our community is here. We demand our schools to be better than they are. We demand them to be green. We demand a new future with green, renewable energy and a new infrastructure. And we also demand good union-paying jobs for as many New Yorkers as we possibly can. We've set a proposal to get 100,000 jobs to lift us out of our economic crisis. This is just the start. This is not the end.
The climate jobs that will come out of this are key. An example, real quick, PS 62 in Staten Island, the first net zero job in the United States. That school, public school, built under a PLA, prevailing wage, building trades, a female electrician foreman on the job. That building produces more energy than it consumes. It was designed and developed, and it was a great, great success. And we need to do more of that.
So this proposal by Align makes complete sense from the economic perspective. It makes complete sense from an environmental perspective. And it makes complete sense from the perspective of bringing justice and trying to address the inequities that we have seen in a job recovery market for people of color and people in communities that are being hurt the most.
We truly believe that another world is possible. We must acknowledge, repair, heal, and act to truly having resilient and permanently organized and self-determined communities. Passing the CCIA is going to put us on that path, and we're going to need all of you.
We are the EG organizations, the community groups, the labor unions, the climate organizations, and more who have been daily fighting climate change and working to protect workers and communities who have been devastated, particularly this past year. The mission of our organization is to actually build powerful coalitions. The power of a movement really is based on the power of a people. We don't have the money of large corporations. We have the power of the people.